perfect, but they're unique and they'll make your paintings look absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to quickly introduce them first in case you're not familiar with them. The Inktense pencils are manufactured by the British brand Derwent, and they're unique in the sense that they are water soluble and that they are ink-based with gorgeous color. In fact, they're very similar to other water soluble pencils that would qualify as watercolor pencils when they're watercolor based. And my personal opinion from working with both of these extensively is that they do resemble each other very much, despite a big difference in composition, because in fact the techniques and the actual painting process are pretty much the same. So what's so special about the Derwent Inktense pencils then? To me, it's the colors, because they're truly intense for one, and I even find that they do have that slight vintage look to them, but maybe that's just me, and we'll have to see in the art demo that's coming up next. And the original tin that I'm going to be using today has 72 colors, but I know they're coming out with new colors right now, and I'll be happy to feature them in a future video as soon as I can get my hands on them. I think the Derwent Inktense pencils are a great tool for artists who want to have fun while creating beautiful, vibrant, and elegant paintings. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can use them with a beautiful coloring page from the book Coloriage Wild by Emmanuel Collin. So the first thing that I generally do is to pick out some colors, and to do that I like to use this color harmony book as a guide. I go and just find a color combo I like, and I try to match the pencils to it, and with this coloring I was feeling these colors right there. And then I'll use my swatches to quickly find the best match. So a tip for you with such a limited color palette is to also pick out a few more colors of a similar shade as your main ones, just a bit brighter and fun, because the scheme that I picked out is kind of dark, muted colors, and I know that a few brighter colors will bring in some freshness to the final painting without ever being flashy, so that's why I'm making that choice. And let's not forget about black and white, because that's going to help you create deeper shadows if you need them, and to also add bright highlights with white. Although sometimes for that you can use other tools too, and I'll show you exactly what I mean later. I was ready to create, so I put my headphones on, a good podcast, and I started adding clothing to the girl first, and then coloring. Coloring with the Derwent Inktense pencils is the basic and obvious technique that you can use, but it's far from being the only one, as you'll see next. My color scheme had a bit of brown in it, so I went for the hair first, and with pencils that are water soluble, it's better to try and not go too dark too fast, especially with the Inktense. So I always start with the lighter colors and then I'll add more shadow a bit later. And what's great with these pencils is you don't necessarily need to sharpen them in this coloring stage. You can, like I did, if it feels better or more convenient to do, but the lead can be blunt to just color the base layer of your painting, and you can even proceed really fast, because you can see that I'm not being careful about the strokes, unlike I would be with colored pencils, for instance. So that's definitely another huge plus besides the gorgeous colors. And you don't need to be careful, because the water we'll add later will help us smooth everything out and fill out those small nooks and crannies in the paper. With a sharper lead, you can already place a few more strokes like I'm doing. They're going to be more detailed, and it's a nice way to leverage this coloring technique. I love to overlap colors with all kinds of water-soluble pencils, and these are no exception, because you'll be able to create more depth and interest to the painting than if you were to just use one color here, one color there, and the painting will actually look more natural and beautiful by doing that. The left side is going to be darker. That's what I decided I wanted to do for a more mysterious feel. So I insisted a bit more with a darker color. And here actually I was using mustard for the light tone and oak for the darker tone of brown. Notice how nicely the pigment lays down on paper. It could almost be left as a regular colored pencil coloring, and also see how natural the colors are looking for a hair color, and I love this so much about these pencils. To stick to my theme even better, I added the same mustard color into the leaves, and then I went and overlapped a little bit of the crimson color that I picked for the skin and flowers. And again, you really don't have to go by the regular color of fresh leaves, and you can do as you please. And what's great with water-soluble pencils is you can mix new colors by just coloring and overlapping them on top of each other like I was doing here. I started switching to my crimson color and my red violet. And one thing I think is good to know about the Derwent Inktense is that the barrel really doesn't match the actual colors that well. That's about the only thing I wish was different, and you can really see that in the red-violet color. And if you make swatches, you'll be fine, so I really would encourage you to do that. And for now, this really just looks like a plain colored pencil coloring, but you'll see how it changes once we activate the paint with water. I finished with the flowers, and notice how we do have some indication of the shadows and highlights in this coloring book, which is great. And you'll find a link to it in the description of the video before you ask. The top that I created for the little girl is actually meant to be white, but white in art in general is never really white, at least not in realistic art. There's always small colors in there, some shadows, and you can see this on any white object around you. So that's why I added my crimson color first to block in all the creases in the shirt. And then I added the red violet in places to make those deeper creases stand out as such. And I even might have added too much for the white effect, but that's okay because it fits my color scheme well. There are so many ways you can paint from using pencils like the Derwent Inktense. The first one, and again is the obvious option, is to just activate the coloring with a wet paintbrush. And try and not use a whole bunch of water. It's really not needed with this type of medium. You just need 1 jar of water, a paper towel to keep your paintbrush from getting too wet, and just go over the coloring and watch the magic happen pretty much. Also, this plain but thick coloring paper won't take water as well as actual watercolor paper. So whenever you can, I would recommend watercolor paper. And when you can't, try and pick thick sheets like these ones and you'll be fine. Now just be very careful about this mistake that everyone tends to make in the beginning with watercolor pencils and water-soluble pencils, and I'll link a very helpful video about that at the end of this one. So when you activate part of the painting, before moving on to another area, please make sure and rinse the paintbrush, and then soak that extra water out of it. Then keep activating, and then repeat those steps every time you blend another area. Because imagine that if you don't do that, you'll just be transferring the paint from that first area onto the next one. And I can tell you from experience that this is going to make a huge mess with a lot of mud. With the Inktense, it could even look worse than the watercolor pencils because the colors are so strong. And another thing that I do also is to blend from light to darker areas, again to keep paint from those lighter spots. And when you get used to doing this, I believe that if you're enjoying this video so far, you will have a lot of fun using these pencils as well. But it's just helpful to learn the basic techniques first and to practice a little bit, and you'll see that it will come. Another way you can paint and do it in a way that keeps the paint looking watercolor smooth without any pencil texture, you can get pigment directly from the lead of a pencil. I like this technique for the skin. It's very quick and super easy to do. And you see, it's so smooth and flawless in this way. I just always make sure to fade the harsh lines from my brush strokes to keep that smooth look. And another very cool technique, and now I switched to sea blue and also my darker blue shade, iron blue. You can just scribble with a pencil on a scrap piece of paper or a rough palette like this one, and just use the pigment as you would watercolor. And that will save you a ton of time, and it will make a smooth background and also help with creating beautiful color gradients that look like watercolor. And it's also why I'm saying how these ink-based pencils absolutely resemble the watercolor pencils in so many ways. One of the differences, and maybe you can tell if you know these mediums a bit, are the colors. They are so intense, as the name indicates, so gorgeous that it's just fun to paint with Derwent Inktense pencils. A thing many artists will point out and that you might like to know is that the Derwent Inktense pencils are generally not light fast, and that's also the case for many watercolor pencils. And a low light fatness rating would make it a bit risky to use for art that you want to sell, for example, because that means colors could easily fade over time. And another thing that comes up a lot is that colors don't lift once dry, unlike most watercolors and watercolor pencils. And I have to say that this has not been my experience. I showed it in another video, so maybe that depends on certain colors or maybe even on the paper you'll use them with. I'm not really sure. So bottom line here is that these pencils are awesome to have fun creating, and I'm going to show you how much more you can get out of them, because after all, this is only the base layer and we have a beautiful finished painting coming up, but that takes a few more techniques I want to share with you. Essentially, at this stage in the painting, I'll refine the main colors that I think that I need by adding another layer of paint in any of the ways that I've shown you. And my favorite one, because we were dealing with the background and the skin, was to use the Inktense pencil pigments already diluted, like watercolors. Remember that for that you can use a palette or take pigment directly from the lead. For details, you can also leverage the pencils themselves and a sharp lead. And for me, it was great here to touch things up in small areas like the lips and the eyes. And you can even just add pencil pigments that you're not going to activate directly with your fingers. And this is actually a technique that I just came up with and I never shared before on my channel. I think it's so fast and it's absolutely gorgeous to finish an area of the painting with mark color. And it has a very subtle textured look. I love how it's looking, and I know I'm going to be using this technique again for sure. I decided to keep refining the colors with the side of pencil leads, not the tip, so more pigment could be added, but in a gentle way and light pressure. And this painting started turning into something gorgeous, like a hybrid between a watercolor-like look and a colored pencil-like look, and it has unique colors as well, so that's just great. I also worked with the tip this time to add fine hair and also shape the eyebrows better. And one of my favorite parts in any painting is to add the highlights and the final subtle details. And here I used my white pencil and I placed very subtle highlights with it first. And I found out the best way to do that is to just color with the white pencil and not activate it. And later I leveraged another awesome technique that you'll find with watercolor pencils as well. And you just dip the lead directly into water and you see crisp bits of pigment depositing on paper because they've been dissolving in the water. And another plus with the Inktense pencils is that the light colors can actually pop really well on top of dark ones. I find they are very opaque. So first I managed to add those interesting yellow highlights on top of dark areas with the mustard color. I did that in the hair, as you can see. And then I repeated this step with white. And to add extra lines and add extra flyaway hair, it just changed everything and made the painting even more magical and beautiful. And I was telling you how you can use other mediums to achieve an even better look. And in my case, I enjoy a white gel pen for even more crisp highlights. I think that you can tell how much these additions can transform a painting. There's really so much fun and so much things to do with the Inktense pencils and all your art supplies. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned loads. Watch this one next to spot the common mistakes to avoid with water-soluble pencils. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.